The International Women's Day was officially marked on the 8th March, but we're still celebrating the achievements of women and their contributions to our nation's growth and development. We're also taking a closer look at the gains achieved by women and girls while assessing actions toward gender equality. According to this year's theme, Break the Bias, the question is, what are the steps that now must be taken to move away from a world of bias and discrimination towards a world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive for women? Let's talk now to a gender human rights advocate, Dr. Bilkisu Magoro, who joins us live from New York. She's at the ongoing 66th session of the UN Commission on the Status of Women. Let's begin with the dynamics of conversation where you are, particularly as it relates to the theme, which seems to marry the issue of gender inequality with the global climate crisis. Dr. Magoro, if you can hear me, I'm asking that you walk us through the conversation where you are as it relates to the theme linking gender inequality with the climate crisis.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, so basically, the thing for this year for the Commission on the Status of Women has basically been the effect of climate change on women and girls, and how it affects them in most places all over the world, and how we can use that to actually improve the participation and placement of women. So that's what we've been working on, and discussion, and the table has been working on regards at the Commission on Status of Women. We know with International Women's Day, it's been something that it's been placed out that the theme was, breaking all biases against women, and women and other genders towards achieving, their equality. We know that, this issues of biases is what causes a lot of, with that, of course, that's what deters and creates a lot of inequality in the gender issues with girls and women.
Absolutely. The concept is such that if you invest more in women and girls, they become leaders and change makers, and then they can come up with innovative climate change solutions. But let's bring the conversation back home in Nigeria. How do you bridge the gap between the kind of leadership positions available for women, and how do they get the voice to be able to make their own impact? For instance, women have been picketing the National Assembly for days now. I believe you're following the issue that has to do with the gender bills that didn't make it through at the National Assembly.
Well, a lot of these issues, I think, I believe is that back at home, we have to have an understanding what really we mean by, the gender equality with women. We have to actually get ourselves a lot of key pushes that will be in support, because it's been mostly women have been advocating for this. And if we go through the National Assembly and what happened recently, we realize that, it really didn't go through, none of the bills actually went through. And majority of the people in the National Assembly we know are male. So I think we need to be able to advocate more to the males to actually understand what we mean by, the gender equalities, where we want, every foot and everybody would have equal space to actually leverage on, and be able to be part of the contribution in the development of Nigeria as it's meant to be. It doesn't have to be only, politically. We're talking about education. We're talking about access to farming, to food, inheritance, and the rest of them. So that's where we're all talking about that. It's not really just one bill that we're talking about that, it's, just, taking up positions, but we're talking about having, equality spread around amongst everybody in Nigeria, be you male or female, having been able to, express your right, constitutional right as a citizen. It doesn't really matter if you're male or female, but for you to have the access to this equalities are out there for everyone.
Absolutely. 2022 is the year where every nation and every industry is trying to shake off the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. And we're told that women and girls seem to have carried more of the burden. What are the prevailing thoughts as it relates to sustainability plans for women and girls post-COVID? Well, by the way, COVID-19, we are told, is still very much around.
Well, with regards to that, there's been lots of roundtable meetings, especially within the AU and ECOWAS, of the ministers of the different African. I'm talking about more of the African nations, and that includes Nigeria and all of the countries within the African nations, where the impact of the COVID has been devastating. I'll focus more in that area because that's mostly my area of interest, Africa and Nigeria, just as it is. The impact has been great, and has been a large. We really cannot really express how much damage it's done. A lot have been put out, but a lot of decisions and plans have been put into place how we can overcome this setbacks, especially for women. We know in most African countries, the women are farmers, and due to the COVID and the climate change, this is actually cost a lot with the families. The families haven't been able to do very much for themselves. So of course, lots of issues of marriages, divorces, family problems, lots of it. So we need to get back to the drawing board and actually go to the grassroots, especially with the young girls, and encourage all the family and make sure that they're being encouraged, both the girls and the women itself, as it is post-COVID. The COVID session has actually created a lot of gap within the chain of production worldwide and distribution worldwide. So it's an ongoing thing, and we're hoping that by the end of end of all the sessions, there will be a good solution that would help start up a strategy for both Africa and Nigeria as it is.
Gender and human rights advocate Dr. Bekesomagoro, thank you for talking to us tonight.
Thank you very much.